acting like I was blessed. You know what I'm saying? You guys are very important people down here in the leather, huh? So, see, I always wanted to be on the front seats. How many of you always wanted to be on the front row in your life? I want to challenge everybody that's not on the front row. You got to figure out how to get on the front row of life. Okay? You are blessed. Folks, you are blessed. My whole life I've heard, Grant, you're blessed. And every time I've heard I'm blessed, I'm like, yeah, but I got to go prove it. Okay? You are blessed. Your job is to leave here and prove it. And you cannot prove that you're blessed if you don't have a vehicle. You have to have a vehicle. The first 25 years of my life, I did not have the vehicle. Probably the first 45 years of my life, I did not have a vehicle that was wide enough, long enough, and had enough fuel in it to actually carry me to my blessings, to validate all my gifts. And when I say that I have gifts, I don't say that like I'm egotistical. If you're hiding your gifts, that is not humility.
No, you're not sure.
That is treason. To your families, your community, your church. Your job, my job is to be who I'm supposed to be. All of me. And this has been the great disappointment of my lifetime. Between the ages of, my dad died when I was 10 years old. Give my dad a big hand, by the way. So you spent a lot of time working that out, dude. But that's what it takes to validate your blessings. You got to spend time working it out. Would you agree? See, most of my lifetime, I've been trying to figure out how to work it out. And a lot of that time, I got distracted. I didn't have a vehicle to get into. I didn't have a purpose to live. I didn't have a product that I felt good about. I didn't have a mission or a purpose that I could share with other people. You understand? If you don't have a vehicle, you're just a person that's blessed with a bunch of talents, running around having these ideas, like going around in circles. How many of you felt like that before? So here I am, 10 years old. I knew I was blessed as a kid. When I was 8 years old, I knew I wanted to be rich. I don't mean rich in life, I mean rich with money. How many wanted to be rich before? Okay. That's right, I was 8 years old. I watched the James Bond movie. My dad was still alive. My grandfather who was, have you ever heard the term WAP? Yeah. It's a derogatory term that was used back in the 50s for Italians and Irishmen that came into the United States. What most people don't know is WAP stood for without papers. And my grandfather was on a boat from Sicily, and when he got here, he was born on the boat, and when he got here, he didn't have papers. So they put this thing on him, and a little baby, imagine a little baby that's got WOP on his chest. Never had paper, so he had to work kind of underground. That's code for, he spent most of his life in criminal activities. You guys know any people like that?
How you doing?
Come on, you got a neighbor? So I got my grandfather sitting right here, my dad's sitting right here, and I'm watching James Bond. It was Goldfinger. And I'm watching, and I'm 10 years old, man. I can be influenced by anything, right? And I'm watching James Bond. I'm like, he gets the girl, he crashes the car and doesn't care. He walks away from the casino, and it doesn't matter whether he won or lose, and he still gets another girl. I'm gonna be James Bond. I'm gonna be James Bond, man. I'm going double blood. I'm gonna kill people too. I'm gonna be in a tuxedo. I'm gonna look good, right? I'm gonna set the stage, right? How many of you feel like that's who I want to be? I'm gonna have swag when I walk in a room. There he is. And then my grandfather's over here on the aisle. He's sitting here. He's counting a roll. My wife has got my roll right now, but he's counting a roll. He had to have, I don't know, 5,000 or 6,000 on it. He's counting. Right in the middle of the movie, he's just counting dough. So I'm collecting all this data, right? I'm watching James Bond. I'm watching my grandfather. I want to be that guy. My dad dies a year later. 52 years old, just bought his dream house. been working hard every day of his life. I saw this guy that was strong work ethic, 5 kids, took care of his family. Every day he showed up early, every day he came home late, every day he pounded it out. Finally got his dream house, and heart explodes in his chest. I'm 10 years old. The only thing I knew about success, the only example I had of success at that time was James Bond, my grandfather, and my dad. And now there's a vacuum in my life. There's no WFG to fill this in. Okay, there's no mentors. There's no Milet to mentor me. There's no leadership. I'm looking for my uncles. When's my uncle going to show up? My dad's gone. He's gone. He's the only guy I knew that knew anything about work, money, finances, taking care of a family. I didn't have anybody else. I'm 10 years old. I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm not worried about my brothers and sisters. I got my hands full with myself. How many felt like this before? I want to be a role model. I know I'm blessed. What do I do? So I go to sleep at night. This is 2 days after my dad died, and every night I'm going to sleep thinking, my dad's going to wake. I'm going to wake up tomorrow. This is a dream. This is a dream. This got to be a dream. This can't really be happening. Okay? I'm mowing the lawn the next day. I'm mowing the lawn, and I'm like, I know Dad's coming back. This has got to be a dream. And you know, after a while, you realize there's some things in life that just are not negotiable. My dad never came back. Okay? When I finally realized that my dad wasn't coming back to teach me how to be a success, to teach me how to be who I was meant to be, when I realized that, I kept waiting for uncles. My Uncle J.E., my Uncle Vincent, my Uncle Paul. I know they're going to call up and say, let's go fishing, son. Let's go hunting, son. Let me show you the way, son. And you know what? They never showed up. By the time I was 16 years old, I was so angry. This was about 5 or 6 years. I was so angry at life, at people, at disappointments, at losses, that I went the wrong way in my life. Started using drugs at 16 years old. By the time I'm 25, by the time I'm 18, 19 years old, actually, I have a drug habit that's every day. 5 and 6 and 7, 8 times a day, every day, okay? Using drugs, any kind of drug, for 9 years, every day. Every day. A kid that was blessed, came out of a good family, nobody beat me up, I didn't have bad examples. It's not like I'm Kanye. Okay? I wasn't brought up in poverty. We had bicycles and we had clothes and we had food. I never missed a meal. I had a great mother. But my mother could not teach me what to do with my energy. I didn't have a vehicle to put my energy into. You understand? How many of you have neighbors, friends, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts? They got all this freaking energy. They got this juice. And it's misdirected. That's what I did. From the age of 15 years old to 25, I misdirected energy. Okay? I went to a treatment center when I was 25 years old. And when I left that treatment center for the first time, 28 days without using a drug, the guy, when I'm walking out, says to me, "You'll never make it. You'll never make it, man." I said, "Yeah, thanks for pulling for me, bro." I said, "But I got 28 days. 28 days, I didn't use this drug. That's all I need. I just need a little. How many of you just need a little sometime? Dude, I just need a couple of wins. I got 28 days. Now what am I going to do here? I don't know what I'm going to do. I just know I got 28 days. And this guy's, there's no way you're going to make it." See, when you go to treatment, you know, you kind of expose your whole life. And I did. I just opened my whole life up. I wanted to be an author. I told him, I want to write books. I'm a great dude. I'm going to do big things. I'm going to get rich. I'm going to be James Bond. I'm going to own real estate one day. I'm telling him all this stuff in a meeting one day in this therapeutic setting. And all these guys just start slamming on me. You got to give up all those ideas, bro. You got to give up all ideas of being somebody important. How many have been told that before? Okay? You don't need to do all that. How many have been told that before? How many call your mom and dad up sometimes and say, "Look what I did," and they're like, "That's great, but I love you just the way you are." My mom told me that at least 500 times. I'd call her up, "Mom, I did a real estate deal today." "That's great, but I love you just the way you are." "Mama, I just sold something. I made $4 million in 30 minutes." "I love you just the way you are." Mama, I just bought 4,000 apartments. much, okay? It's almost $600 million worth. I love you just the way you are. Mama, I got this girl to go out with me. She didn't want to go out with me. She's going to marry me and have babies with me. I love you just the way you are. Grant, you don't need to prove yourself. Yeah, I do. Oh yeah, I do need to prove myself. How many of you need to prove yourself? I need to prove myself. Okay, the people in the treatment center, what you trying to prove? I'm trying to prove myself to myself, man. Okay? Okay? You want to just be sober? You want to never use drugs again? Good for you. I want to get rich. Say amen. Amen. Dude, I want to get rich. Okay? Like I'm talking about, I want to stack. I want to stack so much money. Okay? I want to prove to people, my mission is to prove to people that this whole thing about money, okay, all you've been told about money, don't talk about it. How many are told don't talk about money? Oh, don't talk about it, okay? The reason so many people ain't got money is because you don't talk about money. Oh, don't talk about it. Okay, let's not talk about it. I'm going to talk about it, okay? I'm going to talk about it because if you go to work every day, if you got a great product, you work for a great company, you deserve to get paid for that, right or wrong. And the people that change this planet, the people that change this planet are people that actually bank money. Mother Teresa could have done a better job if she had more money, right or wrong? Okay? How many have been told this before? Money won't make you happy. How many turned up to somebody said to you, money won't make you happy. How many heard that before? Give me a 10X if you heard that before. I know it's a 10X. Yeah, God told me one day, he's like, Grant, money's not going to make you happy. I'm like, bro, you ain't got any money. You can't give advice on money, son. I'm a millionaire. Like I said, you ain't got any money, son. Okay? All you top producers in the room, you got your first million? Hey, let me make it official. You ain't got any money. Okay? The money you got right now is scared money. It's scared money. Every night you go to sleep, I hope I don't lose this. That ain't money. That ain't money. That's fear. That's fear. Okay? I challenge everybody in this room. I'm going to do some big stuff with my let. I'm going to do some big stuff with WFG. Because I'm done doing little stuff. I'm done being a 10-year-old. Right? I want to be somebody great. I've wanted to write books my whole life. I waited until I was 51 to write my first book. Okay? Wrote my first book. It took 3 hours to write the book. 2009, the economy collapsed. Lehman was walking out of Wall Street. People were free. The whole world was coming apart. How many were in this business in 2009? Okay? You're going to have another 2009. And it's going to be uglier than the last 2009. It's going to be devastating. Okay? The middle class in America, what happened in 2009 was the Band-Aid, the lie about the middle class was pulled off. It was pulled off. Your moms and dad lost their homes. Those homes that you were told, were the great financial instruments on this planet. Okay?
They're not.
See, there's three classes of people in America. There's poverty, there's the middle class, and then there's the wealthy. And there are no other classes. Okay? This middle class thing was made up. It was made up to keep people civil. Oh, you're doing so much better than everybody else. You got 2 cars, you got a house, your kids go to school. Okay? This is what's going on in America today, right? 76% of all Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 3 out of 4 people in the richest country on the planet live paycheck to paycheck. And you're responsible. Every one of you in the room, including myself, are responsible for that condition. You have the vehicle, you have the opportunity, you have the product, you have the financial literacy and the education. You have an opportunity to help people, but you won't tell them. You got to scream, man. You want attention, you want money, you want success, you got to scream. And you Okay? What you do here will matter less than what you do when you leave here. What you do when you leave here will matter more than what you do while you're here. They're giving you the resources, okay? They're giving you the opportunity. You have the vehicle. You have fuel in the tank, right? I got 5 businesses. Every one of them cost a lot of money to start. They either cost a lot of money or they cost a lot of this. Okay? First job I had was 25 years old out of that treatment center, was a sales job selling cars. I'm going to tell you something. I hated that job. Every day I hated that job. I hated being a car salesman. I mean, come on, man. I was supposed to be James Bond. I'm selling cars. I'm selling Corollas. Okay? How much can you put down? Right? And I'm like, you know what? I'm becoming the greatest car salesman in the United States. Then I'm going to quit the job. I'm not quitting anymore until I get great. So maybe you don't like what you're doing right now. Maybe you guys don't. How many of you, I heard some people saying they were broke. How many of you in the room broke? Just admit it. Okay? Okay? Because you're talking about your money right now. But you got to remember this. You're not broke as long as you got a commitment. You're not broke as long as you got, like, energy. You're not broke as long as you have creativity. Right or wrong? Dude, take off. I don't have any money in my pockets right now. I got a lifesaver. I got a lifesaver. Now I'm broke. Okay, here, I got a puppy, okay? It's got a bunch of octopuses on it. You want me to take it off? Take it off. You can take it off, dude. You know what? I'll never be broke again. I got friends. I got courage. Okay, how many of you got courage? Let me hear it, 10x. It takes money to make money. How many heard that before? That's just another lie. It's another lie. It's like the house. Buy a house. You have to buy a house. You need to buy a house. You gotta buy a house. Don't pay rent. Own your own home. That was your daddy telling you that. Because your daddy didn't know anything about money. Your daddy just took the information he got and got trapped in a house. Money don't come with a house. Warren Buffett owns one house. You don't see Warren Buffett collecting homes. Yeah, let's go buy a bunch of houses. If it's got one door, rent it. Okay? You're not going to make any money from your house. You're going to make money leaving your house and going into the marketplace. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Money won't make you happy. Where'd you get that advice from? People that don't have money and people that quit on money. If you're taking notes, write this down. Never take advice from a quitter. Never take advice from a quitter. If they quit, you do not get advice from them, okay? And people that quit things get bad advice. You know, I left WFG. Yeah, I used to work there. It didn't work for me, so I quit. Charlie didn't give me the kind of attention I needed and deserved. He was out buying watches. Smoking cigars, him and the wife showing off everywhere. You guys got to quit settling, man. You got to quit settling. You got to quit comparing yourself to people that don't have anything. Okay? You guys compare yourself to people that don't have anything, and make sense of why you don't have anything. Doesn't make any sense. 2009, I put my family at risk. My wife, my 2 kids, I had a second kid coming, and all of a sudden the economy's imploding on itself. Okay, I got 3 businesses at the time. All 3 of them got handcuffed. I got a bank that I owe $40 million to. The bank goes under. The new bank comes in. Hey, we need our $40 million. I got a lawsuit that hits me for $60 million out of nowhere. I had nothing to do with it, except that I met the wrong guy and did business with the wrong guy. How many done that before? Wrong choices will cost you money, right? So I got a $60 million lawsuit, a bank that's failed, 3 companies that are strangled, and my beautiful wife, stand up, Elena, okay? I'm a closer. That's right. She didn't want to go out with me. She wanted to have nothing to do with me. You're not my type. You're too short. I need a rock star. I'm like, yeah, baby, what else? What else you got? Give me something else. It ain't like you're God or something. Come on. See, I'm already getting from when I get to heaven. I get to heaven, I know God's going to have some objections with how I conducted my life. You know, I heard you and my lad at that bar. You know, y'all cussing a little bit. Yeah, I know. I knew that, man. Come on, man. Okay?
That's a little different.
Okay, but look at all the good stuff I did, big guy. Oh, look at all the good stuff I did, man. Look at all the people I helped, man. How about that day in Vegas? How about that day in Vegas when I woke those people up and said, man, you're blessed now, go prove it. So I'm ready to handle that because I can handle her because she's like, oh, I'm not going out with you. Don't tell her, she can tell all her friends. I'm like, that's the one. When I saw her, I said, that's the one. How many of you have seen an ugly dude with an ugly guy with a beautiful woman before? Close. She didn't want to go out with me had nothing to do with whether or not she would be my wife and have my kids. I called my mom up. I said, Mom, I met the woman. I was so excited. Mom, I met the woman I'm going to marry. Have y'all been out? No, she hates me. Well, son, it takes two. I said, thanks. I hung up the phone. I'm like, oh, I'm closing this for sure. See, because you got to know this about your parents. Half of what your parents tell you is just great advice, and the other half is wrong. You got to know what you got to know what your parents are good for, and use them. Most of them have terrible information. Look, if they don't have any money, don't get financial advice from them. Right? I'm going to tell you, somebody asked me backstage, hey, who do you get your financial advice from? I never take advice from a millionaire, ever. I used to do it. I used to take advice from millionaires, okay? No offense to anybody in the room if you're worth $1 million or make $1 million. Ed told me some of the money y'all make. Like, Grant, he makes $3 million. I said, Ed, how they live on that? How does somebody feel good about themselves making $3 or $4 million a year? Like, dude, how do you go home at night and lay next to your beautiful wife and say, oh yeah, I'm all that, and you only made $4 million last year? It's a lie. It's a lie, man. There's $3 trillion sitting in bank accounts right now, earning less than 0.5%. And you guys are like, I made $100 grand last year. You complaining, right? Get a seat outside the building. Look, you guys are setting the wrong goals. The biggest single mistake I've made in my entire life was my goals were too small. They've always been based, my goals have always been based on the people around me. I'm gonna make 50 grand, why?